The fifth law of the universe is the law of inspired action. It is perhaps the most overlooked law, but it directly relates to the law of attraction. If you practice manifesting with the law of attraction, ignoring the law of inspired action can have grave consequences. I'm going to go through this law with you in detail today so that you understand how to properly utilize for your manifesting sessions. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Iwasukehi, author of Shadow Work, Finding Your Light in Darkness, and I'm here to help you with your shadow work and manifesting questions, as well as give you tips on new ways you can practice your self-growth. So don't forget to subscribe for Grow Bold Your Numbers on Tuesdays, Pick a Card Shadow Work on Thursdays, and Shadow Work Manifesting Tips on Sundays. Also, don't forget to check my website so that you can enter into my monthly giveaway of my Shadow Workbook to help you improve your life and find your light in the darkness. Let's talk about the law of inspired action. In my other videos, I briefly mentioned about it, but found that it is important enough to do a whole video on it. Remember, if you try to use the law of attraction without the law of inspired action, all you'll be faced with is disappointment and frustration. What is the law of inspired action? Put simply, the law of inspired action states that we have to be inspired by our thoughts and act accordingly. So why is this important to use with the law of attraction? You see, many gurus out there will tell you just to use the law of attraction to manifest and bring in what you desire. After all, they tell you to let go and trust the universe. While that is fundamentally correct, most of the gurus teaching those stop right at that spot. Like the universe, we are constantly in motion, constantly manifesting. Thus, whatever we want to manifest, these energies also have to be in constant motion for it to be working. If you want to create a stream of water, you cannot do it with a closed-off pond. You need to open the floodgates to let the water flow, like abundance. So you see, when you manifest, place your desires and wishes, let it go to the universe. The law of inspired action is the next step you take. If you merely stop at the law of attraction, then your manifesting wishes become stagnant. Don't get me wrong, even if you don't do anything, things can come to you. But it will feel more of a coincidence rather than a manifesting desire brought to life. The law of inspired action not only supercharges your manifestations in the right direction, but it brings you closer and more accurately to your wishes and desires. So let's go deeper into it. The law of inspired action states that we have to be inspired by our own thoughts and act accordingly. Thus, if the law of attraction is ask, believe, and receive, the law of inspired action adds one more to the equation, and that is ask, believe, receive, act accordingly. What you do with your time has to be inspired action. And there are two types of actions, regular action and inspired action. But how do you tell the difference? Regular action does not do anything for your manifestations. This means regular actions are like waking up, going to your job, cleaning the house, etc. Inspired action aids you in manifesting your dreams. But how can you tell the difference? Inspired action is the real, actionable, and inspired steps taken to achieve a goal. But suppose your manifesting desires is to have more sales at your job. Since your job is a regular action, what is inspired action behind getting more sales? Well, we are all unique, but if you feel like you're tired, stressed, and burnt out from working to get more sales, that is regular action. If you feel energized, full of energy, and excited, that is inspired action. Let your inner knowing tell you when it is regular action and when it is inspired action. Why does this happen this way? It's because your superconscious mind has now taken your manifesting wishes and desires and aligned it with the universe. Thus, your body becomes the barometer, sort of like a measuring device to tell you when you're headed in the right direction and when you're headed in the wrong one. The right direction will give you high vibration feelings, which is inspired action, and the wrong direction will give you low vibration feelings. That's why for people who consciously manifest, sometimes they tend to feel more stressed and tired. That's because they are more in tune with the universe now, and their body is really screaming out the directions to them. But what if you don't have any ideas on what to do with your manifestations? Don't worry, you will know when the time comes. Oftentimes, the universe is already working to put pieces of your manifestations into order so that you can receive them. When they are ready, you will start getting a little thing called inspiration, an inspiration to act upon it. That's when you know your time is right. Take my shadow work channel for example. Obviously, I have practiced shadow work, but more of a one-on-one thing with clients. I wanted to help more people, so I put it out to the universe that I want to use shadow work to help more people. Of course, the answers did not come to me immediately. My clients were actually dropping. Work in the movie industry was also dropping. In fact, you can say that nothing was going right for me. But what happened was that as budgets in the movie industry began to fall because of the pandemic, I had to start investing in cameras instead of renting them. Even though they were cheaper, I found ways to cut costs down for my movie making. This meant that I started buying my own equipment and they all were stored at my house. While these pieces don't seem to match my manifestations of helping people with shadow work, once these pieces were in place, I suddenly had an idea, which is to start a YouTube channel. Suddenly, I looked around me and realized I had everything to start a YouTube channel. I had equipment, I had the knowledge of editing I had to pick up when I could not afford an editor, and suddenly everything made sense. My manifestations were coming true. But there is still one more step. And that's a step of inspired action. I had to put it into actual actionable steps. I have to record myself, edit, start a YouTube account, begin posting, and within a year, I had accumulated 4,000 subscribers. Again, thank you for those who have subscribed. You were a part of my manifestations. Oh, and I have something special for you to thank you, but let's wait to the end and go through the law of inspired action first. So let your intuition guide you when you need to take inspired action. Remember, your intuition guides, your body confirms that. If my intuition says to keep practicing and teaching shadow work, I put it into action first. When I had clients, my body felt tired and I generally am left exhausted at the end of the day. Body's not confirming it. When I decide to do a YouTube channel and I feel energized with each video I make, body's confirming it. Thus, my inspired action is to teach shadow work through YouTube, and my regular action is to have shadow work clients. See the difference now? This goes for love as well. Does your body tell you a person is not the right one for you? Or does it tell you, finally, I found the one? These are all the things you need to pay attention to because your mind and body is guiding you to your manifestations. Don't sit down and do nothing about it and expect the universe to drop it on your lap. Another element of your body telling you that your manifestations are coming is fear and excitement. We always think about fear as a bad thing because it is on a lower vibrational scale, but it can be a good thing. That's the best part of shadow work. When you do enough, you are not scared of the shadow side of you. How is fear great? Because when you fear something, it is usually because you don't know what's going to happen or you're about to try something new. The unknown is the number one reason for fear. Trust me, I know this making horror movies. But think about it. If you kept doing the same thing over and over again, you have nothing to fear because it is comfort. You are used to it. But the reason you are manifesting is so that you can have new things and better things in life. To get new and better things, you have to do something that is different from what you're doing now. Doing something different means stepping into the unknown, causing you fear. So the next time you are scared or resistant about something, stop to think if that fear is coming from unknown, trying something new. The universe is signaling to you to move in that direction. Open new doors, allow new opportunities to manifest from your dreams. That's the beauty of shadow side at work. Unfortunate that most people are too quick to run away from it when the answers are so near them all the time. In order to have this channel, I must go beyond my norms of shadow work learning and filmmaking skills. I had to learn about radionics, electrical energy, sound frequencies, in order to expand on where my intuition is telling me to go. One of my wishes and desires was to give you guys something to thank and be grateful for all your support and So I had this idea to expand beyond Grabovio codes and learn to create my own radionic codes that is geared towards a more specific target. Grabovio codes were created for the general public, and so I dived into educating myself on how to create codes specifically for my subscribers, you. This makes the code more potent than the Grabovio codes as it is more focused. You can see the machine behind me. I'm still waiting for another week of broadcasting before I can share these amazing codes to you. From there, every week, I will be making new codes for you. The first manifestations I'm doing for you is called New Money. So by next week, I'll finally be able to share with you these Yukehi vibrations and show you how to receive it. I hope you're excited about it as I am, so don't forget to subscribe to it so I can add you into the manifesting machine. But when it comes to money, if you want to know how you can manifest money in abundance while waiting for these codes to be processed, you can check out my videos on manifesting money and the secret money code behind it. I'll post the video over here. Be sure to check it out. I'll see you there, and next week, namaste.